Quinton Aaron has quite the story.
From the Bronx to being bullied to the BlindSide.
We squeeze into the sauna to find out about his incredible journey.
This episode is sponsored by JNH Lifestyles.
Take advantage of one of their home infrared saunas and experience the many benefits that thousands of people across the United States are praising.
Regular sessions in an infrared sauna will help you in almost all areas of your life.
Start your joyful, natural, and healthy lifestyle today with JNH Lifestyles. I'm Dex.
And I'm Steve-O. And this is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
You know, Quinton, if you break the sauna, you buy it.
You break it, you buy it, you buy it?
Yeah. Do you have a beer over there? Where's my beer?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. How you feeling, man? Are you
hot.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Hot as hell.
This isn't as bad as you were.
No, you know
before
what?
the interview, you were freaking out a little
I
bit.
thought it was going to be a lot hotter than what it is.
Yeah.
But
You're
if that
from
temperature is not going to go up, right?
It's
I mean,
it's going.
it's going.
Yeah,
It'll
it's getting up there. That's what it's supposed to get up to, so we don't know where we're at exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah, we're close.
So it's not there yet?
We're close to 140.
So
It'll get there in a few minutes.
it will rise.
But I don't think it's going to feel any different.
So if the meat starts falling off my chest.
Meat.
I meant the hair, sorry. The
taco meat.
The taco
yes,
meat, yeah.
I got you. I want to go back in time because looking at your career, it's like Be Kind Rewind. You got to roll with Mo Stuff and Jack Black, and so you're like doing something, and then, I mean, you get to play Michael Oher in The BlindSide opposite Sandra Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
How did you find out?
It's funny. The day that I found out that I got the role, I was working security at Silver Cup Studios in New York.
Okay.
And this is like down the hall from where they shoot 30 Rock.
Oh, okay.
And I saw Tina Fey, and I was like, oh my God, that's Tina. Yeah. She's literally walking towards me. Oh my God.
Man.
Chop with the straight face. I'm security, right? You know, sitting there, boy, fanboying.
Yeah. Fanboying?
Yeah.
Fangirling? I mean, you can fangirl. You can fangirl.
Yeah.
I fangirl.
I fangirled.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, and she's walking towards me, and I wanted to talk to her so bad. And then my phone rung, and without even thinking about it, I pull out my pocket and answer, and my manager goes, Quinton, guess what? Now, before I tell you that part, it had been a year and 3 months since I heard anything about that movie.
Oh my gosh, that
Because
long.
I auditioned twice, and then the writer's strike happened.
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason or another, it got put on hold. And so I think it got shelved because it was with Fox Searchlight.
Okay.
And then when it got picked back up, it was with Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow.
So it got shelved for like a year. And so I didn't hear anything. So this is like January of 2009. Yeah. And I auditioned in December of 2007.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you're basically like, yeah, there's nothing's gonna
I'm
come
like,
of
it's
this.
not, you know.
I'm doing security.
Yeah.
For some reason, I answered the phone, and my manager was like, Quinton, guess what? And I said, The BlindSide. She said, how do you know? I said, oh shit. Oh. And at this point, Tina Fey is right there. And I was like, I'm going to call you back. And she's
Incredible.
like, what happened? I said, I just booked the major role, the lead role in a major motion picture. And she was like, oh my God, but you're a security guard. I said, correction, I was a security guard.
I'm out of here.
Now I'm an actor.
Yes!
That's amazing.
Incredible!
And I was like, and I love you. And I wanted to give her a hug, but
Yeah.
you know, it didn't work out. But
That's
you know,
hilarious.
she was so sweet.
Oh my gosh.
So what's
Yeah.
this like working security? I mean, you're wanting to make it. You're wanting to get that movie role, and you're seeing all these celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, was it hard to just straight security?
Oh, you know, it's funny. I've got real good at the art of pretending I'm not excited.
Okay.
But on the inside, my guts and stuff is doing somersaults.
Yeah.
And they called it the funny guts because sometimes you didn't know if it was just nerve-wracking or you got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So it's funny guts. You'd be like, oh my God. I was like, wait, can I be right back?
Yeah.
I just real quick. This is not what I thought it was.
Oh my gosh. Was there ever a time where you had to, like, where you just couldn't do it and you broke your cool because it was like, no, man, that's like Denzel Washington. Like,
yeah. I did that a couple of times. Meryl Streep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy because like I was at a a pre-Oscar party a few years back, and just roaming around the party, getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing that happened right before I met Meryl Streep, I brought my brother with me, and so we were going around, and he is like crazy about Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
And I saw her sitting there, and I wanted to see if she would take a picture with him. And so she introduced herself to him. She didn't take a picture. I think she was, at the time. So, but she said hi and everything. And then, so we did a couple laps around. By the time we get back over there, it was Scarlett, Zoe Saldana, Bradley Cooper, the Weinsteins, and Leonardo DiCaprio, all sitting in that area. Wow. And so walking back by, I had met Leo a couple times, but it was just in passing. Yeah. Once at a club, once at the airport, just another. And he was always super cool with me, super nice. Yeah. And so we get back by there, he jumps up out the chair. Quinton, come here, man. I'm flabbergasted. I didn't think he knew who I was. Yeah. So he jumps out the chair. Quinton, come here, man. And just in front of everybody there, just start singing my praises to him.
No way.
Wow. And like telling how, he remembered every time we met and how nice I was. And he was like, this guy has a smile that just lights up the room. And I was like,
wow.
That's amazing.
Leo DiCaprio singing
That's incredible.
So it was one of those moments, and I was like, "Oh man, that's awesome!" And then everybody started saying hi. I shook everybody's hand, and the funny part was the look on Scarlett's face, because I could tell that she didn't know who I was when I asked her to say hi to my brother. Yeah, but then at that point, she was, "Oh shit!"
About that photo.
So what was it like? Because I've never acted before. But when I'm watching a movie, sometimes I'll think in my head, I can't imagine what it's like for a new actor to jump into a scene where they're opposite of Sandra Bullock. Oh man. What was that like? So the very first scene that you were right across from Sandra, what was going through your mind, man? Were you just freaking out? Could you remember your lines? What was going on?
Well, so the craziest thing was, I think the first time we were on scene together, was just me and her, we were in a car. And this was the scene where she was supposed to be taking me shopping.
Okay, yeah.
But in movies, everything takes forever.
Right.
Yeah. So me and Sandra was in the car for about 8 hours together.
Yeah. So you really get to know each other. Yeah. You probably get pretty comfortable after a while.
I was sitting there like,
yep.
Yeah.
Dude, and she looks at, I start blushing. She started going, and one of the times she started going, I think you like me. You think I'm sexy. I said, stop. I was blushing hard as hell. It was so funny. Yeah. No, but she is so cool. She just made it super easy to work with her. And, she made me at ease. So it was like, because I was racing, my heart was racing, my stomach was doing the funny gut.
And you're like, I don't have to use the bathroom, I just did.
I don't have to.
This is the funny flips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I did the pregame ritual, so I was like, I'm good. This is just that Sandra Bullock,
Yes.
So it was just, but she just made it cool and easy to work with. Now another day that I was super nervous on set was when I had the scenes with Kathy Bates.
Oh, dude.
Because I saw Misery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, and it was funny, the day she came to set, I was like, make sure we hide the sledgehammers.
Yes.
Typewriters. What else can she use?
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Everyone was cracking up. It was so funny. She was such a sweetheart. And I'm like, I love you. I love you. I'm just making sure you're not mad at me.
Right.
Because there was a scene where she slaps me with the spoon, and I was just like, at least it wasn't a hammer.
Right?
Yeah. It just wasn't a hammer.
When did it flip for you where you owned it and was like, I'm here. Like, I'm a part of this. Like, day one, you're freaking out. You're next to Sandra Bullock. When did it flip and you realized that you belonged there?
I don't know if I ever really felt that way throughout it. I was so in the moment that I was loving and enjoying it. and just wanting to do whatever I could that will please them.
Yeah.
You know, and I was because I was so appreciative of the moment. But there was a night there that we were all. We broke for lunch, and we were outside of the place, the bookstore, where we went to the bookstore before we went to the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was talking, and it was like I had one of those out of body experience moments where it's like I floated up. I felt like I floated out of my body and was looking down at the circle. There's Sandra Bullock. There's Faith Hill.
Yeah.
I was about to say
Faith Evans.
Yeah, exactly.
P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hill, sorry. Sandra Bullock on this side, Faith Hill on this side, Tim McGraw, the director, John Lee Hancock, and us. Like that was the circle, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like this, and it was crazy, man. Just sitting there amongst them, and we were all just engaged in conversation and talking. I was like, that was the moment for me where I felt like, okay, now I've made it.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to experience moments like that. And
Well, let me ask you, because The BlindSide was such a huge movie and it won so many awards that anything after that, was it kind of like, did it compare? Was it the same
honestly,
high?
I haven't done anything yet that compared to that movie. I set the bar high with that one. It's like,
did you know when you were doing it, like, we're gonna win some awards? Like,
no, you know what? I never
know my name.
I never allowed myself to think of that.
Okay.
I was just like, I just hope I don't suck.
Yeah.
But because it was my first time in that big of a role, Before that, I was like one-liners here and there and everything, but
security guard for Tina Fey here.
Exactly.
What about Michael?
Being number one on the call sheet, I'm like,
Yeah. And what about Michael Oher? I mean, because you're playing somebody else. Was he very?
He wasn't
cool
involved. He wasn't involved.
Did you ever talk to him? Oh, you haven't talked to him? Because
not until I met him when he was already in the NFL.
Okay.
He didn't want anything to do with the movie process. He wanted to focus solely on football because he was trying to get into the league. At the same time we were filming, so he was focused on combine and stuff like that. Yeah. And so the family came to set a few times, and I love Leanne. Oh my gosh, she's awesome.
That's so
and she
cool.
came, like, when she first saw me, she was like talking to all the producers, and then she saw me, she's like, move! Jumped up, came around and gave me a hug.
That's cool.
She was like, oh my God, you look just like Michael. You look just like Michael. I was like, oh.
That's so cool.
It was so cool.
That's crazy.
Awesome. I know you do a lot with like anti-bullying and you go around and talk to the kids and stuff. Did you deal with that growing up?
I did.
He's 17 feet tall. You dealt with bullying when
man.
How was that? You were born 3.5 feet tall. Like,
well, because I was a gentle giant. I know, right?
Yeah.
I dealt with a lot when I was younger. Okay. I was that kid that was afraid of everything.
Okay.
I didn't have an older brother. I was the older brother. Okay. So it was nobody to really have my back and stuff in school. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in a neighborhood where there's a lot of gang violence and stuff like that. And a lot of the kids that was in school with me also had bigger siblings that was in gangs. So I didn't want to fight them. Yeah. I just ran from them because I'm like, if I beat you up, then I got to deal with your brother. Yeah. I don't want those problems. Right. I ain't got no big brother. Didn't have a father. It was just my mom raising two boys and stuff, and I was the oldest, so I was like, I gotta pick and choose my battles here. Common sense was big on my radar. All through childhood, it was like, it was just like I was that kid that thought about the consequences of what could happen before doing something, as to where other kids would just jump.
Yeah. That's
I didn't know the ground was gonna hurt like that. Right, dumbass. See, I was 20 feet up.
I was the dumbass. My dad passed away when I was little, and so it was my mom raising 3 kids, and so it was
like
just it was just hard.
Get a hug.
And it was real hard.
Wow, that's really soft.
Man, you are sweaty. Dude, so but I was opposite. See, I didn't have that guidance, so I was the oldest. I was the older brother, so I didn't have anybody to like go, hey, stupid, like. So I wasn't cautious. So that's interesting. It's like opposite. You were very cautious.
A lot of it was my mom too beating that into me because she was, wow. It was kind of the thing where she had her rules were, if you hurt yourself doing something stupid, I'm gonna beat your ass on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we didn't do something stupid because we didn't want to get our asses beat.
Yeah.
So that made it very
How old
easy.
are you, Quinton? How old are you?
34 right now.
Yeah, see, he grew up in the time where we got beat.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And parents didn't go to jail.
Exactly.
My mom. So one time we were leaving the house and we were getting ready to leave the house, and my mom said, "Now we're gonna walk past your favorite pizza place, but I got food on the stove when we get home.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you asking me for pizza. We're not stopping for pizza."
Oh, no.
So I was like, okay, I clarified that I understood. Now, it was called Munch Time, and the pizza place is connected to a donut shop. So a lot of cops hung out right there.
Yeah.
So you get pizza on this side, donuts on that side. So we get there, "Mommy, I want pizza." "No, you're not getting pizza." "Mommy, I want pizza." "No, you're not getting pizza." I snatched away from her, jumped on the ground, started throwing the tantrum.
Oh, man.
Took her belt out, beat my ass right in front of the cops.
No
Cops
way.
sitting eating their donuts looking. And she looks up at them. "Y'all want some too?"
Yeah. Nope.
Different time, man.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
But
that
there
was the time with Big Mama,
Oh,
Nobody really messed with Big Mama. Like,
Yeah.
they ain't want them problems,
But it's a different culture because of the lack of respect,
Yeah.
I think, and the
yeah.
lack of care,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is why I think for you, getting back to anti-bullying,
Mm-hmm.
we're in this weird culture where people hide behind the internet, people hide behind things like social justice warriors, like on their keyboard, I should say, keyboard warriors.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, saying whatever, firing off, not really thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
and not thinking about the effects it has on a young person's mind. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
It's like, and for me, it's like a lot of times when I'm speaking to older kids or young adults or whatever, I like to tell them from a real perspective the stuff that you can't say in certain schools.
Yeah.
So I like to, for instance, I'm like, listen, I want you to think about the consequences of your actions because you embarrassed this kid in front of everybody he knows.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what he's going through.
Yeah.
You could be walking, minding your business one day and a lead pipe just bust you in the face.
Yeah.
Now you're
Yeah.
on the ground leaking from your head.
Yeah.
All because you said something that you thought was funny because it got a bunch of laughs, but the
Yeah.
kid you made everyone laugh at didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you handle that situation?
Yeah.
Now you're drinking food through a straw because you got severe brain damage.
Yeah.
And that's just one scenario that can
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
we
seriously.
look,
What,
look
there
at
are
school
literally
shootings,
millions.
I mean, you
Yeah.
never know what that kid's going through, what kind of
Exactly.
mental illness he's dealing with,
You
and what
know?
it's happening at home with the abuse that he's taking in, and one little joke could make him snap, and the next thing you
Exactly.
know, he pulls a gun out and starts shooting.
Because that's the main issue is kids don't think about the consequences
Yeah.
of their actions. They just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
It's like
They're in the
jump before you
moment.
leave. It's like
Yeah.
go bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Jump. Oh shit! I didn't tie my rope off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secure the line first, and then jump. You son of a bitch! I swear to God.
Oh my God. Incredible.
Oh, man.
So how did you get involved with like anti-bullying? Like when did it start for you that you were like, I want to talk to the youths?
It's actually it started for me like immediately after the movie.
Okay.
I was kind of talking to this teacher.
Yeah? What do you mean?
Okay, here we go.
Yeah?
So
The truth comes out. This is how every good story starts with like,
What had
I met a girl.
happened was-
English teacher,
I met a
history,
girl.
what are we talking here?
Okay.
You know what? I don't even remember. Don't remember.
That's not the important part of the story.
She was hot.
Yes, he was hot for teacher.
Exactly. And
Okay.
she had asked me if I would mind coming to the school to speak to her kids. And I was like, okay, yeah. In doing that, I was talking about my life story. And a lot of my childhood centered around being bullied.
Okay.
And so that's how I kind of dove into that realm. And then from there, one thing led to a next. And then people found out that I was speaking in schools. And then I started getting calls. And 10 years later, I've spoken in 70-something different
Wow.
cities in this country. Couple million kids.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, we did. I started my foundation, the Quinton Aaron Foundation, back in 2012, and I named the Quinton Aaron Foundation because I wanted people to know my name because everybody's calling me Big Mike or Michael Oher.
Yeah.
And at the point I was just like, that's not my name.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not okay. All right. What?
Yeah.
You know, so
I'll go by Michael or Quinton.
exactly. Like, hey Michael, how about Quinton?
Yep. Yeah.
This
yeah.
Quinton.
Quinton's
Q.
good. Quinton's good.
It's easier.
Right.
Yes.
You
yes.
know.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So that's how I got into that.
As you know, Quinton, you have a lot of friends that watch this show. And,
Yeah.
you know, when you go out, I'm sure people talk about it. They were excited that you were going to be on the show. So you know the theme song to Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Which we end every episode with.
So,
and we always let the
we're gonna-
guest start the song.
I forgot to
We're
start.
gonna need to
So you
have
go
you
ahead.
kick that off.
I gotta.
We'll roll with you, whatever, however you want to.
Give me the cue.
Don't
Don't sweat
the small stuff. You know, can I freestyle it?
Yeah, dude.
Don't sweat the small stuff. I have no voice right now.
No,
Don't sweat.
That's good.
Don't sweat the small stuff. All right, jump in.
Don't sweat
the small stuff.
I think that was the harmony. I think so.
Yeah.
It was something like it.
It was, yeah.
It was
We did
something like it.
something.
That's good, man.
In Vogue, eat your heart out.
There we go.
Oh man, what a completely different outro than the last episode.
Yeah, wow.
Amazing, right?
Crazy.
It's like we've got a production budget this year.
Wow, and you're wearing the exact same thing.
Yeah, wait, we didn't get anything out of this. But you know what you're going to get out of it? A discount on a sauna. DSTSS. That's our discount code. Go to jnhlifestyles.com or you can check it out in the description.
I'm very poor, so I need you guys to share this. I need you to subscribe.
That's
okay?
true.
Because I don't have a job. This is my only job,
So
actually.
we need you to like, subscribe, and share it so
Absolutely.
Dex can stop
Yes.
living in my basement.
Well, I kind of like it. So. Subscribe.
I like him.